Now therefore be it resolved that I, Kendall W. Lane, Mayor of the City of Keene, do hereby proclaim to support on Sunday, April 6, 2014, as Friends of the Keene Public Library Days, and do urge citizens of the Mad-North region to visit the spring book sale at the Keene Public Library in support of continued excellent library programs and facilities. To move to swear out, I hereunder set my hand and the official seal of the City of Keene this 20th day of March, 2014. Thank you. You got to say anything?
No, I'm all set.
But we would like to encourage everybody to come to the book sale.
No, they are very good, and they've been very productive and very profitable in the past, and I think it's a really ready source of funds.
Yeah, and it is important for the Friends. And quite frankly, it's important for the City of Keene that we support the Friends. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the first item on our regular agenda is confirmations.
This evening we are confirming Emily Hay to serve as the liaison to the Martin Luther King Jr. and Jonathan Daniels Committee with a term to expire December 31, 2014.
And Councilor Jones for a motion.
Thank you, Your Honor. I move to confirm the nomination.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, are you ready for a vote? All those in favor? Oh, this question requires a roll call, excuse me.
Councilor Roberts?
Yes.
Councilor Clark?
Yes. Yes.
Councilor Jacobs?
Yes.
Councilor O'Connor?
Yes.
Councilor Filio?
Yes.
Councilor Powers?
Yes.
Councilor Chadbourne? Councilor Meader?
Yes.
Councilor Jones?
Yes.
Councilor Richards?
Yes.
Thank you, and Emily is confirmed. The next item on our agenda is communications. A.
We have a communication from Raylene Alexander. She's representing Jack and Jill Children's Consignment, and she's looking for permission to place a Santa Claus sign in the city right away. This consignment sale is scheduled at the Marriott on April 4th and 5th, and she is looking for permission to erect that sign starting tomorrow, which would mean we would, in order to act on it, we need to have a suspension of the rules.
Councilor Duffy.
Thank you, Your Honor. I move to suspend the rules of order to act upon the request of Raylene Alexander for the use of city property.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? If not, this requires a roll call.
Councilor Roberts?
Yes.
Councilor Clark?
Yes.
Councilor Duffy?
Yes.
Councilor Jacobs?
Yes.
Councilor O'Connor?
Yes.
Councilor Filio?
Yes.
Councilor Powers?
Yes.
Councilor Chadbourne? Yes. Councilor Meader?
Yes.
Councilor Jones?
Yes.
Councilor Richards?
Yes.
Okay, Councilor Duffy.
Thank you, Your Honor. I don't know if I should read the motion, proposed motion for approval, or I guess we've all read the communication, so I guess it's, I'll just go forward with the motion. I move to recommend that Raylene Alexander, DBA Jack and Jill Children's Consignment, be granted permission to place one sandwich board sign on Main Street advertising their event for up to 2 weeks prior to and through the duration of the event dates, with the size, specific location, and means of anchoring the sign, subject to review and approval by the Public Works Department. Said permission is granted subject to the signing of a revocable license and indemnification agreement and receipt of a certificate of liability insurance in the amount of $1 million, with the City of Keene listed as an additional insurer and subject to any recommendations from city staff.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion or any questions? Councilor Jacobs.
Yes, so, if I understood the motion was to put one sign, but I see the written request was for three, so
The other signs are not items that the city council deals with. One of them is on West Street near the Citgo station, which is on private property. And the other one is, on Main Street by the post office. And council doesn't deal with either of those two locations. Further questions? Further comments? Seeing none, are you ready for a vote? All those in favor? Opposed? It's unanimous. B.
Actually, I think if we could take, we have several of our sidewalk cafe or communications coming in. So if the mayor wouldn't mind, I'll just introduce all of them.
Yep.
So we have the Cobblestone Ale House LLC, Margarita's Management Group, the Port Authority Cafe, the Stage Restaurant and Cafe, Fritz Belgian Fries, and both the Lucas Mediterranean Cafe and the Market at Lucas. All of these are requesting service of alcohol in connection with the sidewalk cafe license.
And all of those items will be referred to the planning licenses and development. Good luck, David.
We look forward to this every year.
Yes. And item H.
This is a communication from a David Crawford. It's relative to the behavior of a private tow company related to city operations.
And this, we will accept this as informational. And I.
And a communication from Councilor Haig, who is not in attendance. This was tabled at your previous meeting. She is looking to have you support the funding for the skate park. And also she's asking that the mayor consider authorizing the ad hoc group, the Nanook area relocated skate park.
This one.
Oh.
Yes, that's J.
Oh, sorry.
Usually it's the other way, usually it's the other way around.
So I is a communication from Gerhard Betting. It's relative to the U.S. Supreme Court decision Citizens United.
And this will be referred to the Finance Organization and Personnel Committee. J.
Now, Councilor Haig's communication. Councilor Haig had submitted this communication at our previous meeting, and we tabled it to tonight where the CIP is on the agenda for your action. So she's looking for support of the funding of the skate park, but she's also looking for the mayor to authorize the establishment of an ad hoc group with a larger representation, suggesting the Nanook area. And the focus would be a relocated skate park.
We will accept the communication, and I will appoint a committee to work on the skate park. And now we move to reports.
3.1 is Municipal Services Facility and Infrastructure Committee report relative to pedestrian safety at 55 West Street. On a vote of 4-0, the Municipal Services Facility and Infrastructure Committee recommends that the communication from Main Street American Group be accepted as informational, and that's signed by James P. Duffy.
And we will accept that as information. And number 2.
Corresponding report, this one from, again, Municipal Services Facility and Infrastructure, from the Public Works Director on West Street sidewalk. On a vote of 4-0, the Municipal Services Facility and Infrastructure Committee recommend that staff install crosswalk signage similar to the Main Street crosswalk at the crosswalks between Federal Street and 70 West Street, and the staff continue conversations with the Main Street American Group. Signed, James P. Duffy.
Council Duffy.
Thank you, I move the intent of the committee report.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. Council Duffy.
Okay, yes, I was a bit confused there for a second, but I think I need to refer. We discussed the issue at NGM last week. There are 4 crosswalks, 2 are not ADA compliant. NGM Main Street America Group was requesting an installation of blinking lights similar to what's on Winchester Street near the Keene State campus. Staff offered another solution that would be less money and would essentially, if there's room, put left, look left signs similar to spots downtown on West Street, or Main Street, and, put signs, 3 feet by 3 feet signs, that will really alert drivers to slow down and stop for pedestrians. And also, when the resurfacing and, repainting begins in the spring, to, really go over, those crosswalks and make them more visible to drivers. It's the hope that this, in a year from now, we'll see some improvement. If not, it's clear we can look at other options. But the committee felt that this is a good first step, and hopefully it will make a difference.
Are there any further questions or comments? Seeing none, are you ready for a vote? All those in favor? Opposed? It's unanimous. Number 3.
This is an informational report from Municipal Services, Facility and Infrastructure. It is relative to the Keene Skateboard Park update.
And we will accept this as informational. Number 4.
Planning Licenses and Development Committee report relative to a lodging house license at 57 Winchester Street. On a vote of 5-0, the Planning Licenses and Development Committee recommends the 57 Winchester Street Realty LLC be granted a lodging house license on property located at 57 Winchester Street for a period of 1 year from the date of issuance, subject to the following conditions: compliance with all applicable sections of the Code of Ordinances, compliance with any requirements or recommendations of city staff, and this license shall be contingent on passing all necessary inspections as stipulated in section 46-562 and 46-587 of the City Code of Ordinances. Signed, David R. Meter. I'm sorry, David C. Richards.
One of us.
It's one of you.
Councilor Richards.
Thank you, Your Honor. I move the intent of the committee report.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Councilor Richards.
Yeah, the applicant was there on this issue, Mr. DeCesar, but he did not speak. Just to give a little background, we had a delay over a couple cycles while staff and the applicant had to work out the details and make sure that all city requirements have been met. Once that happened, we moved this forward. This is a re-up of an old license. And as I stated, all code requirements have been met. With that said, the Planning Licenses Development Committee unanimously recommends granting this license.
Thank you. Are there any further questions or comments? Seeing none, are you ready for a vote? All those in favor? Opposed? It's unanimous. Number 5.
Planning Licenses and Development Committee report relative to a request from Walpole Mountain View Winery to sell wine at the farmer's market. On a vote of 5-0, the Planning Licenses and Development Committee recommends the Walpole Mountain View Winery be granted permission to sell alcohol at the 2014 Keene Farmers Market on city property licensed to the farmers market of Keene, subject to the following: submittal of a signed letter of permission from the farmers market of Keene, obtainment of all necessary permits and licenses in compliance with all laws, and the assurance that consumption of alcohol at the farmers market of Keene will be strictly prohibited. By David C. Richards.
Councilor Richards.
Thank you, Your Honor. I move the intent of the committee report.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded.
Again, much like the last one, this is a re-up from last year. The applicant could not be there because the weather was so bad last week. We talked to staff, all the requirements have been met. I think we should support this as just one more way to support the farmers market. The Planning Licenses and Development Committee unanimously recommends granting this request.
I noticed in the minutes that the applicant was commended for the thoroughness in preparing her request. Does that mean she brought in samples for the committee? You knew what it was that you were dealing with?
It was discussed, but no, Your Honor.
All right. Are there any further questions or comments? Seeing none, are you ready for a vote? All those in favor? Opposed? It is unanimous. Number 6.
Planning Licenses and Development Committee report relative to a request to use city property. On a vote of 5-0, the Planning Licenses and Development Committee recommends that the City Council authorize the use of the Dillon Hopkins Airport by Chapter 35 of the International Aerobatic Club through December 31, 2014, subject to the execution a revocable license and identification agreement for receipt of an insurance certificate in the amount of at least $1 million, naming the city as an additional insured party, and all other requirements of city staff. Signed, David C. Richards.
Council Richards.
Thank you, Your Honor. I move the intent of the committee report.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Council Richards.
Yeah, again, this is another annual license that's up for renewal. It goes throughout the full year. The Aerobatics Club kind of needs a window, I guess you'd say, space, so that they can do their thing when the weather's right. There have been no issues with this in the past. All city requirements having been met, the planning license is involved. I can unanimously recommend granting this request.
Thank you. Are there any further questions or comments? Seeing none, are you ready for a vote? All those in favor? Opposed? It's unanimous. Number 7.
Finance Organization and Personnel Committee report relative to the American Legion Ball Field Agreement. On a vote of 5-0, the Finance Organization and Personnel Committee recommends the city manager be authorized to do all things necessary to renew the agreement with the American Legion Post Number 4 and the City of Keene for a 1-year control and use agreement of the softball fields located at 797 Court Street, signed Mitchell H. Greenwald.
Council Roberts.
Move the intent of the committee report, Your Honor. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Council Roberts.
Just the city used to have a long-term agreement with the American Legion to use their 2 ball fields. That agreement ran out and for the, this will be the second year. What we'll do is we'll go into agreement, a 1-year agreement, and we would pay the American Legion $5,000 to use those 2 ball fields. And those ball fields will be used by the Greater Keene Men's Softball League and the Greater Keene Women's Softball League, who will be sharing in the payment. So, and last we knew, there were going to be about 70 to 75 teams that would be playing on those ball fields.
Thank you. Are there any further questions or comments? Seeing none, are you ready for a vote? All those in favor? Opposed? It's unanimous. Number 8.
This is an informational report from the Finance Organization and Personnel Committee relative to the communication from Tom Cook in support of the franchise amendment.
And we will accept this as information. And number 9.
Finance Organization and Personnel Committee report relative to the Time Warner Cable franchise amendment. On a vote of 4 to 1, the Finance Organization and Personnel Committee recommends the city manager be authorized to negotiate and execute